Hi there, friends. Welcome back to another episode of the Achilovs Twins Travel Show. If you are new here, in this podcast we talk about different cities and cultures from all over the world, and sometimes we talk about different experiences like the Mongol rally or a death ceremony in Indonesia, Toraja. And this time around we had a conversation with Liv from Switzerland, and it was really nice. We learned a lot of stuff about Switzerland from her. And if you would like to learn more about Switzerland and its culture, then you can watch this video. And I hope you will enjoy it as much as we did. So let's go. Hi, Liv. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Yeah, we're doing well. And so if somebody, maybe if you go to the party or if you meet somebody, a stranger, if that person would ask you, like, tell me about yourself, what would you tell to that person? So what would you say?
I'd say my name's Liv. I study and work in Lucerne, and I am a photographer and videographer. And I love, being outdoors, snowboarding and hiking and all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Switzerland is a good place for that, right? Hiking.
Yes. It's the best.
And before we started recording, you said it's now the skiing season just started, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like a week ago in most places.
Okay, a week ago. Mm-hmm. Cool. And how do you greet each other? Is it the same with friends and with strangers? Do you use the same words?
Well, first of all, there are like 4 languages spoken here in Switzerland.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm in the Swiss-German part, and if you greet someone you don't know and you want to be polite, you would say grüezi. And if you're greeting someone you know, there's like a million words you can say. You can say hey or hoi or, ciao. Yeah.
If we go there, which one should we use? We can just say hi, or like, is there one universal hi?
I think hallo is pretty neutral.
Hello.
But usually when you go into a store or a restaurant, you would say grüezi, just because Swiss people are pretty polite.
What would you say?
Grüezi.
Grüezi?
Yeah.
Oh, grüezi.
Exactly.
Okay. Wow. So it means the same, like hello.
Yeah. Just more polite.
More polite. I see. And what about the handshake or maybe hug?
It has changed now with the COVID. Usually people don't do the handshake anymore, but I guess if you meet someone and it's more of like a formal setting, let's say it's work or something, you would do a handshake.
Yeah.
A lot of the older people, for example, my parents would do la bise, like you do in France, kisses on the cheek. And me and my friends, we usually just hug each other, and I feel like a lot of people my age do that.
Kiss, how many times? 2 or 3? Yeah, I read that this is 3.
Depends. Some people do 2 and some do 3, but usually it's 3.
3. Oh, it's the same in our country. But usually... But we don't kiss. We receive. Usually women do that, but sometimes maybe it might be our grandmother or aunt. But man to man, we don't kiss. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the same here. Man to man, I've never seen that. It's only if a woman is involved, a woman and a man, or a woman and a woman.
After grandmother kisses you in Tajikistan, usually your cheeks are wet. Yeah. I hope my grandmother is not listening to this. She doesn't know.
Yeah,
she doesn't know. Yeah. Okay.
No, here it's more like you hardly even touch the cheek. It's more
you just touch. You don't kiss. Yeah, just touch.
Yeah, it's just touching of the cheeks, really. But you do the sound. You do like.
Okay.
Which is very odd.
Yes, I see. But in Switzerland, do you say French part or German part, or you say something like German speaking part, French speaking part, something like that?
Yeah, because you have a whole region that only speaks French, and then you have the majority speaks Swiss German, and then you have the Italian part and the Romansh part. But I think almost everyone learns French at school, and the French learn German or Italian at school.
I see. And how many languages do you speak?
I speak English and French and German fluently, and I'm learning Swedish and Italian.
Wow. Yeah, that's cool. And what about I forgot the name, the fourth language. Romansh?
Romansh,
Yeah. Do you study that at school?
No, there's only 0.5% or so of the population actually speak it, and it's about to go extinct actually. They're trying really hard to keep the language alive, but we never learn it at school, and I don't understand a single word of it.
Maybe that's a stupid question, but do they have letters? Their own letters? And
yeah, I think it's a Roman language actually, so it's somewhat similar to Italian, I guess.
I see. Yeah. Last time when we had a conversation, you said you used to live in France, right?
Yeah.
So what did you miss the most about Switzerland?
I think first I wanted to actually stay in Paris because I really liked it. It's a beautiful city, but after a while, just the working attitude or how people work and how they treat people is very different to Switzerland, and they take a lot more time to get things done. And in Switzerland, everyone's very punctual and everyone's very friendly in a work environment, and I really miss that because getting things done, especially administrative stuff in France, it's a lot. And I was I really, really miss that.
Oh, nice. If foreigners visit Switzerland, what do you think might surprise them?
I mean, it's kind of common knowledge that Switzerland is very expensive, but it's still, I think, surprising when you get here and you go to a restaurant and it's really expensive. It still is to us sometimes when we go to the restaurant and we get the check in the end. It's how is it so expensive? Although we know it in advance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Russians make a joke is that the phone number or the price? Because it's so...
Yeah.
Yeah, I see. And what are the misconceptions people have about Switzerland? Any other misconceptions?
I guess people who've never been here and who don't live in Germany or some of the surrounding countries, they often have the perception of Swiss people all living in the Alps on a farm, living the mountain life, but most of us just live in suburbs and cities.
And the other thing, I just wanted to make sure if it's right or not, because I just read it on the internet. You can't trust everything you read. So it says, let me read. So, yeah, just wait. There's a bus. Okay. So there is a law stating that social animals must be kept in pairs. So if one of your dogs, for example, dies, then you have to get another to keep it company. You can even rent out a dog until the other one dies.
Mm-hmm. So you always have to have two.
Yeah. Is that true?
I don't think so. I know a lot of people who have only one dog or one cat. But I think it might be true for other animals because there are specific laws, but not for the the most common ones.
Uh-huh.
But they are quite strict with I think also snakes and stuff like that. You have to.
Snakes?
Yeah, I mean there are people who have snakes at home. Wow. Although it's quite rare.
In Tajikistan, we're trying to avoid them. People are so scared of snakes.
I can understand.
And I heard that you can't hear dogs barking. Yes, there is no sound. It's so quiet.
I don't know. I feel like I've heard dogs bark here, but it's not if one starts to hear the entire city. I've never had that here. That's true.
I see. If you could choose 3 aspects of your culture to put in a time box for the future, what would you put in it?
Well, I'd say respectfulness. I think the Swiss people are very respectful, and they also value that very much. And maybe like a sense of connectedness to nature, because we do spend a lot of time outside, or at least a lot of us do spend a lot of time outside, like hiking and, snow sports and stuff. And it gives us this like sense of connectedness to nature, and that it's worth being preserved. And I think that's something very important. And then maybe also like dedication to our work, and like especially in craftsmanship, I feel like Swiss craftsmanship is something like very qualitative, and people are like proud of what they do and they're good at it.
Is it something like they do that for generations, like the father, grandfather was doing the same thing, like that?
I mean, not so much anymore, I guess. But our education system, especially with internships where you learn craftsmanship, such as like becoming a carpenter and stuff, is really good. And they're like they really want to have well-educated people who are good at what they're doing.
Oh, good. And we also read that at school you have classes about finance, so they teach you how to deal with money, how to spend, how to save. Right? Do you study that?
No, I've never had that.
Oh, okay. Maybe now you have.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, because this is something I think really important, because we have to deal with that our whole life.
Yeah.
But we don't learn that. Yeah, this is strange. I read that nothing is open on Sundays.
That's very true, and it's very annoying.
What do you do on Sunday? Chill.
Like, you have a few exceptions, like supermarkets at the train station are usually open, but except for that, everything's closed on Sundays. It's can be quite annoying, to be honest. Like, especially here in Lucerne, it's a quite Catholic city, and so they're very strict with that. And then maybe in Zurich is a bit more liberal, and they have more stuff open on Sunday, but here Sunday, like, everything's dead.
And what about Saturday? Are they open?
Saturday's normal, like, it's open. It's usually the busiest day of the week for the shops.
Oh, I see. Yeah. So people usually don't work on on Saturdays. No school?
No.
Oh, that's good. Yes, in Tajikistan, students, they go to school on Saturday. Yes.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I think it used to be like that here, but that was like 20 years ago. They would send kids to school on Saturday morning.
Oh, yes.
But not anymore.
Oh, it's good. I see. And how do you have fun? What do you do on Sundays?
Can be hard. Like, especially in summer, we would just go to the lake and swim there and, chill. Or we would go on a hike. But, when it's like bad weather, it can be quite boring. And we are usually just at home, playing music or something. Mm-hmm. Or a lot of times, and a lot of people, I think, visit family on Sundays. Like, Sunday is for the family. Yeah. You would, like, brunch with them or, go visit your grandma for coffee or something.
Mm-hmm. I see. I've read that Switzerland is the world's biggest consumer of chocolate, and they ate 10.3 kilograms per person in 2018. So how much chocolate do you eat? Do you eat every day?
I think it's true. We are like very big on chocolate. Like my best friend, she eats chocolate twice a day or so. I don't like chocolate that much, but I think a lot of people have it almost every day.
Wow. Yeah, and I've read that 40% of the world chocolate is produced in Switzerland.
I didn't even know that. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. 40, yes. And the quality is good, right? I mean, the famous one with the mountain.
Yeah, the Toblerone.
Toblerone, yes.
It's one of my favorites.
You can see in every duty-free.
Yeah.
It's quite expensive. Yeah.
It's everywhere.
Switzerland, that's how we call Switzerland in English. But what about you, locals? It must be something different.
Yeah, in Swiss German you would say Schwyz.
Schwyz.
Yes.
Schwyz. And what about French?
In French, it's Suisse.
Swiss.
And in Italian, I think Suiza. I'm not sure though. And in Romansh, I have no clue.
We all know that everything in Switzerland works perfectly, the transportation and other things. So when you go abroad, do you miss that? I mean, not miss, but when you see that something is not that perfect, transport is coming late, is it something annoying?
I mean, it depends. Like, if you go on holidays or if you live somewhere else. If when I were in France, it was becoming annoying to me because I was used to,
Yeah.
living in an environment where everything works. But when I go on holidays, when I go traveling, like, I have a completely different mindset, and I'm like, I'm ready for things to not be the way they are at home. So it's okay, but it can be annoying. That's true. I think for other people, it would be like, well, that's just normal. And we're like, where's the train? I'm supposed to arrive 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, I was so shocked when I read that. I mean, in Switzerland, they spend about $9 billion on transportation every year. 9 billion. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, our transportation system is really good. And even like remote areas in the mountains, you can always reach them with buses and sometimes even trains.
Do you have any other questions or something? Yeah, I wanted to ask about a license for fishing.
So you need to have a different license for like every lake, from what I know. I've never fished here in Switzerland, but I think, you have to have a license for that, for like one lake. And if you want to go to a different lake, you have to have a different license. But I think it's so that people don't overfish the lakes.
And what about swimming? Can you swim anywhere?
Yeah, pretty much. The lakes here are really clean.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you go up to the mountains, it can be really cold, even in summer. But it's nice, and it's a challenge.
What's the best time to visit Switzerland?
I guess it depends on what you want to do. If you want to go like hiking and swimming in the lakes and really enjoy nature, I would come in summer. If you're more into snow sports, obviously like winter. Our season lasts from beginning of December until maybe like beginning of April.
Yeah.
And then for the cities, I would do either spring or autumn.
And Christmas must be something big, right?
Yeah, we usually celebrate on the 24th, like the evening, Christmas Eve. It's not like in the US where you celebrate the 25th the entire day. Like here, it's like Christmas Eve is like the main event where you eat with your family and you get your presents and all of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a big thing. Like right now we have all the Christmas markets and we're drinking like wine that is warm. I don't even know what you call that in English.
You said wine? Wine?
Yeah.
Wine, like not the alcohol, not the drink.
No,
right?
the alcohol, yeah.
Okay.
And you put spices in it.
Uh-huh.
And it's like a thing you drink around Christmas.
Oh, so it must be for adults.
Yeah, so like the entire month of December is pretty much dedicated to Christmas.
That's so good. We don't have Christmas. We don't celebrate that. But we like this, the magic around it. And,
Yeah, I mean, it's really quite something. I think especially when you're a child, it's even more magical.
Yeah. And do you celebrate New Year also?
Yes. I mean, we usually celebrate with friends, and maybe you have a little party at someone's home, or you go to the bar or a club or whatever. But this year, it looks like we might be locked down because of Corona, because the situation is getting worse and worse. But yeah, like, or a lot of people also eat fondue. You know what that is?
Fondue, yeah, I've heard, but can
like,
you describe?
Yeah, it's melted cheese in a pot, and like everyone has a really long fork, and you put like a piece of bread on your fork, and then you get the cheese, and it's a really social thing, and everyone like stands around or sits around this pot, and it's something people eat a lot in like during Christmas time, but also for New Year's.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So New Year is not as big as Christmas?
No, not really.
Uh-huh.
And it's kind of funny because like Christmas is really a family thing and you're with all your relatives, whereas Like New Year's is more something you celebrate with your friends usually, like especially younger people.
It's not related to Switzerland, but it reminded me about the Philippines. They love Christmas and they start celebrating, I think, since September, October. Yes. And you can feel that, sense that Christmas is coming.
That's so nice.
Yeah, they love it. Even if there is no snow, but still, it's hot everywhere. Christmas tree and the smell.
That's so funny.
Yeah. Okay, Liv, is there anything else you would like to add before we wrap up?
Not really, no.
Okay. And how people can find you if they have any questions? Maybe your Instagram or something?
So my Instagram is livapple, or my website is livburkhardt.com.
Well, Liv, thank you so much for taking the time, and we appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
And how do you say bye?
Tschüss.
Tschüss.
Yeah.
Sounds easy, yeah. It's easier than to say hi. I already forgot how to say hi. Hello. Yeah, okay, all right. Cheers, everyone.